What's up, everyone? This is Nvidia earnings week. We've got a lot to talk about. Nvidia reports earnings after the close on Wednesday, February 25th. I think it's a little bit after 3 o'clock Central, so keep an eye out for that. You might not see price movement immediately after the close, but I wanted to walk through a number of things here for Nvidia. Last quarter, if you look at their earnings report and you actually read it, it's kind of comical. They have so many updates and so many blockbuster highlights, tons of deals with other high-named companies like Microsoft and what have you. But I really wanted to dive into the options market here. I think there's some interesting stuff that we can take away from this. Generally speaking, Nvidia is kind of trading right in the middle of the range that it's been over the last couple of months here. When we look at the ability to take advantage of this kind of channeled range between 200 and 180, we'll call it, sitting at 190 right now. Looking at the implied volatility over the next 4 days, we have an 11-point implied move on $190 stock. Now, normally when we have earnings announcements, most companies will fall between 5 and 10% of the notional value of the stock price. So with that said, $190 stock, you're probably looking at somewhere along the lines of $19 on the upper end if we're looking at 10%, and let's call it 9.5 points on the lower end. So sitting at 11 kind of puts us on the lower end of that range. It's about 6.5% of the notional value of the stock price. So that doesn't really tell us that the market's expecting too much volatility from this earnings announcement, but it does tell us that there is still some implied volatility. And although Nvidia will likely report crazy numbers, I expect them to have massive revenue numbers, a big earnings per share number. That doesn't necessarily always mean that the stock price is going to go up. Traditionally, if you think an earnings report's going to be good and they blow revenue numbers out of the water, they blow earnings per share estimates out of the water, you might expect to see that stock rally. But in the case of Nvidia, where everybody's trying to invest in this thing, I think the general public wants this product to go up, maybe those numbers just aren't good enough, or the narrative for the future of the rest of 2026 just isn't good enough. And even though they have maybe another record quarter, you could see the stock price actually drop. So I think this lower implied volatility kind of tells us that as long as we expect to see good numbers and a decent forecast for the rest of the year, maybe the market's just already pricing this in and we see some chop in either direction. But I wanted to dive into some of these option cycles specifically because there is a trade I have in mind. I'm going to lean bullish on Nvidia just because if I close my eyes and I bet on earnings reports for Nvidia, I'm almost always just going to lean bullish just because, again, I expect them to report really good numbers. I expect demand to be high. I expect AI to be the forefront of any discussion topic that they go about talking about on the conference call. So I'm just going to lean long, but I'm going to do it in a defined risk way, and I'm going to have a plan for the future if it goes against me. So looking at the Nvidia options chain, again, the 4-day option cycle, 11-point implied move in either direction. Traditionally, I would look at selling premium in the 4-day cycle because the 4-day cycle is your best bet at getting all of the extrinsic value premium zapped out of this cycle, because 4 days from now, all extrinsic value will be worthless in this February 27th weekly cycle. Now, we did say an 11-point move is pretty low for an earnings report in general. But if you look at the March cycle, 25 days out, you're getting about double that. So 20 points of an implied move, still an elevated implied volatility. If you look at the actual number, 57% implied volatility in March. And then you look at April, you're looking at 50%. May, you're looking at 50%. June, you're looking at 51%. So you kind of see this flatlining around 50% in the back months. And that's kind of where I would like to or expect to see all of these implied volatilities in these weekly cycles drop to. So I'm looking at just getting long with a diagonal spread here. I actually was looking at this earlier, buying the 190 strike in April just to inventory some bullish delta here. Buying this call in a lower implied volatility environment means that even after earnings, yes, we will see a volatility crush in April, but it's not going to be nearly as strong of a volatility crush as this 4-day cycle. That's at an 80% implied volatility, and it'll still be lower than March, which is at 57% implied volatility. If we assume that all of these expirations will drop down to a similar level, let's call it 40%, you're going to see a 10% vol collapse in April, and you'll likely see closer to a 20% vol collapse in March. So again, buying that 190 call for $1,400, of course, we want to reduce our cost basis here just in case we are wrong. I was originally looking at the 4-day cycle and selling the 200 strike, but the total debit here is $1,200, and paying $1,200 for a 10-point wide diagonal spread tells us that if Nvidia really goes nuclear to the upside, you're going to see a valuation or a value of that spread that could be around $10, $11, but we're paying $12 for it. So it kind of eliminates a lot of our big upside profit potential if you do get a big blowout move to the upside. So I got rid of that, and I actually went with buying April and selling March. Because here, I can pay a similar debit, actually less, $1,100 of risk, but instead of having a 10-point wide diagonal spread, I can create a 20-point wide diagonal spread. And that's going to give me a lot more upside room for profit potential if we do see a rally in Nvidia, but also if we don't, and Nvidia stays flat, or if Nvidia sells off, it gives me the opportunity to roll this call down from 210 closer to 200 because I'm paying $11. So I could move this 20-point wide diagonal down to a 10-point wide diagonal and still pick up $1 or $1.50 or $2 and reduce my basis even further and still be set up for a new, more narrow diagonal spread, but with a net debit under $10. So real quick, as we always do, we want to check out the analysis tab and just make sure that if these numbers I'm looking at come to fruition, we're still going to be looking at a nice profitable trade. So if we look at the analysis mode and we go to the curve view, you can see that I've got my strikes loaded up here, the 190 call out in April that I'm buying, and then I'm selling the 210 call in March against it for $3 and change. You can see here we can evaluate this at a specific date. So I kicked this over to Friday. So instead of evaluating it on Monday, we're evaluating it on Friday, which would be after the earnings announcement, after the crush from these expiration cycles. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then what we also want to do is we want to crush implied volatility based on what we expect to happen. So again, if I think that a conservative estimate would be all of these implied volatilities dropping to 40% implied volatility, that's going to be a 10% crush out in April, which will bring us down to around 40. And again, it's going to be about a 17% crush in March, which will bring us to 40. So both of these options expirations, if we were to estimate this theoretical pricing here, you can see I've got my zones highlighted on Theo. That's going to give us this risk graph that gives us a theoretical pricing based on my implied volatility crush of 10% in April, 17% in March, and we're evaluating this trade on Friday. So as you can see, if I pay $1,100 for this trade and we get these volatility crushes, 10% in April that I'm buying, 17% in March that I'm selling, and we get any kind of rally here, let's say we go to 200, I could be looking at about a $300 winner on my $11 debit. That's a great win. But if we get a bigger rally than expected, again, we're looking at an 11-point implied move. Let's say we go to 205 or 210. Let's say it's double the implied move. We could have a theoretical P&L closer to $600 on this trade. Now, that would be a home run, of course. But again, given the fact that there's not really too much premium in the weekly cycle, where normally I would place my short option in the weekly cycle, in this case, I'd rather just set up a wider diagonal spread, push that short option out to the March monthly cycle, and pick up $3 and change as opposed to a significantly lower value. So hopefully this analysis helps. But again, earnings for Nvidia after the close on Wednesday. Last day to trade it will be sometime on Wednesday. I usually like to place trades closer to the close on Wednesday, but in this case, maybe we get a rally in general. The markets are actually down today, so I kind of like placing this trade a little bit earlier, especially because both of these options, both the long and short, have a longer duration to it. So if Nvidia sells off, I can adjust this trade, especially after earnings if Nvidia sells off, but hoping that Nvidia will rally. But if it doesn't, again, I have a plan for defense. I can roll that short call down to 205 or 200, pick up some more premium, and see if we get a reversal. But best case scenario for this trade is if we get a nice rally as the markets are selling off today. So I'm going to place this trade. I'll post it on the Tasty Trade follow page. If you want to check out any further analysis, I actually have a write-up for the Nvidia earnings preview. You can check that out on tastylive.com/news-insights or the News and Insights tab. You can find that on the homepage of Tasty Live. But check out Options Trading Concepts Live at 11 a.m. Central as well, where we field your questions in the YouTube chat every single day the market's open, and especially Wednesday, it's going to be a very popular topic. So if you have any trade ideas that you want us to check out, join us on Options Trading Concepts Live on Wednesday. But until then, we'll see ya, and we'll see what happens with Nvidia earnings after the close on Wednesday. Peace.